Can we start? Testing, hello? Good afternoon, everybody. The public hearing is called to order. Today is March 14th, 2018, and the time now is 2:11. My name is Christina Kang. I'm an Assistant General Counsel with the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. With me here today is Jeffrey Blank, Legal Director of Regulatory and External Affairs, and Kevin Schroth, Senior Legal Counsel for the Tobacco Control Program. As well as Svetlana Bordeyanik, the the assistant to the Secretary of the Department. The purpose of today's hearing is to elicit comments and information about the proposed rules, the amendments to Chapter 10 of Title 24 of the Rules of the City of New York. This is to help the Commissioner determine whether to adopt these amendments. A notice of intention to amend this chapter was published in the City Record on February 12, 2018, and we've provided the first page of the notice of intention to the reporter to include in the record. People wishing to speak at this hearing today were asked to pre-register, and we have two people who did so. And it's Ms. Bowen and Mr. Silverio. Will you please identify yourselves?
Elvis Silverio.
And Ms. Bowen? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Elvis Silverio, one of the spokesmen for the National Restaurant Bar and Lounge Association. Just take this off, it's kind of hot here. One of our concerns throughout most of our members is how to stay above water if this bill goes through. In the sense that this is an avenue that most restaurants has adapted to, in the sense also that it's become part of their daily gross. If they take this away or restrict it to how they are trying to amend it, it will be harder for these businesses to stay above water. We employ over 300 to 400 employees. That means most of these employees will be out of a job, people that will be on an unemployment line. I did research on a study that they did in Cincinnati, where they're using non-toxic tobacco and also non-toxic coal. It's made out of coconut, but it's natural. No harmful fumes, no second side effect or secondhand smoking. This is something that we're trying to adapt here in New York and some of our restaurants that we are affiliated with. We also were using a non-tobacco and also non-shisha, which is an electric piping that goes on top of the shisha. They also provide zero nicotine and zero tar and zero carbon monoxide. These are some of the measurements that we are taking to adapt to the changes that are coming around. I believe that if we agree on those proper standards to stay open by becoming a hookah establishment, it'll be easier to comply with rent, employees, and also the fare hike that is going on. We have over 60 restaurants involved in this matter that is going to hurt them economically if we go forward with this.
Thank you, Mr. Silverio. Has Ms. Bowman arrived?
That's me.
Good afternoon.
Hi, afternoon. Copies and mailing copies.
Did you submit that prior to?
No, they just said to bring it.
Sure then. Thank you.
Problem. Good afternoon. My name is Tiffany Bowen. I own Harlem Hookah, located in Harlem. I'll just read what I wrote. The new rules on hookah lounges throughout New York City make it nearly impossible for establishments like my own to stay in business. My business already is a 21 and over establishment, so I do not object to that. However, the rules requiring our sales to derive from at least 50% of hookah is harsh and difficult to comply with. With rising rents in Manhattan and the costs associated with being a small business owner, we are forced to have to make money on alcohol. Therefore, alcohol is always going to be our moneymaker. Everybody knows that drinks in Manhattan are $12 to $16. If it wasn't so, I wouldn't be able to pay my rent. We cannot control that people often have 2 or 3 drinks for every 1 hookah. It is the nature of consumption. Our fear is that by placing the strict rule of 50% hookah sales, if we make more money on food and alcohol, we will be forced to close. What if our hookah sales are at 45%? Does that mean that we close because of a 5% gap? That would mean for me, 31 people of color who live and work in Harlem would be out of a job. That means that a black-owned, woman-owned business will close. I will lose my investment and my source of income. That means that a business that provides a safe and upscale, unique experience in Harlem closes. If we are complying with all laws and running a perfectly legal and safe business, then why place sales restrictions so tight on our business that you are crippling our ability to make money and therefore stay open? Please consider revising the part of the rule that forces 50% of sales to come from hookah. If your goal is to make the city healthier, forcing people to purchase more hookah is not going to help. But because what's going to happen is I'm going to have to force everyone who comes to the door to purchase a hookah when perhaps they just want to drink or they want to have come in for hummus or wings or just for food. Thanks.
Unless there's someone else who wishes to speak, we'll adjourn until 3:50 or until someone is here who wishes to speak.
I'd like to speak. I put my name on the list to speak.
We thought that was the list over there, and the reason.
Okay. Good afternoon.
My name is Sebastian Rosario. I own Feiruz Hookah Lounge on Steinway Street. Ms. Gang and I know each other previously. I agree with the previous speaker who said what she said about the percentage of hookah lounges, which is an important thing. I agree with trying to regulate hookah lounges to make sure that everybody's on the same standard. We've always tried to make sure that we keep a safe environment for all our customers and make sure that everybody that is coming in is 21 and over, which is agreeable. But the percentage, or trying to put a percentage on how much an establishment should have in hookah sales or in food sales or in liquor sales is going to be difficult to keep any of the restaurants that actually have anything other than hookah afloat. It's going to be almost impossible. I'm going to have to close if that's because the reason is not because people who want to smoke hookah come to these establishments. People who we can post signs as to the requirements of the law, and that's fine. People who are going to smoke cigarettes outside, they still are allowed to buy cigarettes. I'm not comparing the same thing, but the people who want to drink will drink. People who want to smoke cigarettes will smoke cigarettes. The people who come into our establishments come specifically to smoke hookah. But most of the time, we sell other things other than hookah to make money in the establishments. I have a full kitchen. I sell food. I sell liquor, and if we have to maintain this 50% rule, it's going to be very difficult. Also, I think we're the only industry that is being regulated, and I don't know of any other industry that is being required to have a certain percentage of sales for a certain product to stay in business or have a permit. You can't go to a restaurant or any other restaurant or anything else. You have to have a certain amount of sales in burgers or non-veg items or vegetarian items. It is just unreasonable, I think. Other than that, I think there's at least 200 hookah lounges in the city of New York. If you compare, if you look into the number of employees that work in these establishments, at least 10 to 12 to 15 per establishment. There's over 3,000 employees that are gonna be out of work if this law is permitted to proceed with the requirements that is being required for the permit. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Posada. What about the others? Would you like to? Go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Eddie Perez.
What's your name?
Eddie Perez.
How do you say that?
Eddie
Eddie?
Perez.
Eddie Perez.
I'm general manager Inwood Bar and Grill. It's a sport bar in uptown Manhattan. In the same path, for example, I understand like why regular people, for example, I have two kind of customers. I have customers that they don't like hookah in their establishment. I know that they don't want to go to a place who serve hookah. I got this kind of customers, and there are a lot. And I already got people that also want to consume hookah. So, for example, in my case, I got in a space, I got a big space, and I have a restaurant, serve people on top, and we have another space that we could put people in there. So there is no cross contamination or something like that, or secondhand smoke in that case. But I understand is if you guys want that the people get healthy and you want to eliminate the tobacco, I understand that it's a possibility that you don't sell hookah with tobacco. But if it's something that just to smoke something on your mouth and throw it away, it's something like an entertainment that they do, but they are not getting sick because of the tobacco. So it's something that they're just enjoying. I can see, for example, my kids behind or beside another person smoking that. But if you have an area specifically for the people that consume hookah, I don't think that is going to affect in any matter the health of the people. We are not contributing to that. For example, as a Department of Health department, like you go to my place and check my temperature, and you check my refrigerator, and you check everything. You also go over there and check the hookah, if they are correctly clean. That's supposed to, it have to be licensed, it have to be with a permit, but that permit have to be like to check that you do it in the correct way, not to violate things, not contaminate anything, not contaminate people. Because I understand what you're thinking about, like if there is no regulation, a lot of people make hookah with everything dairy and they contaminate people because of this. I understand that we have to control that, and we are willing to do that. But I also understand that the idea to just put a 50% on the hookah on yourself is something that is going to be a problem to us, but to you too. Because I want to see an inspector, for example, going to my POS, watching my POS and watching my finance, checking if you are selling the 50% of hookah or not. How do you guys were known if, for example, I can create other products, for example, put alcohol or eliminate and put hookah. When you sell a chicken wings, don't put chicken wings, put hookah in my POS, and then you will see my sale on hookah. These people are going to invent another thing to create it. And I understand that is not a possibility just to do that. What I understand is to control the health of the people, to control the cleanness of the hookah, and if you got an outdoor, you don't need the permit. If inside you do it and you have a space to do it in a controlled environment, to allow people to do it. But I don't understand like it's going to be easy in reality. If you are honest, to control your sales. For example, right now, if I want to apply and you want to check my sales of hookah for this year, how could you doesn't know? You don't know if I'm going to make exorbitant sum. You're gonna put a lot of things there to qualify. And then if you decide, okay, let's start fresh, but you have to demonstrate me that you're going to sell 50% of the hookah, how you will know if they're not going to trick or cheat you? And then you got an inspector, IRS, inside my place, checking my numbers. It's not regular person. It's not regular inspector. It has to be somebody with a lot of knowledge about finance to check all the things. You are not there at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Mr. Perez, thank you very much. I
At
think
3
you're-
a.m.
Okay,
You
thank you.
understand?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Minister Staff.
Can I just ask a quick question? Any questions?
Okay, I'm gonna go down this list to make sure that the person that signed up, wants to speak or doesn't want to. My apologies for the poor pronunciation. Sababa Lounge,
Yeah.
do you wish to speak? Sade Nasan,
Gotta restructure the room to accommodate.
okay, sure.
Yeah, they needed you. I think they gotta come on camera right there.
So you want me to go on the list?
If you could kind of give a word here a little bit so that others can kind of come in, so others can come in the back, so that everybody can hear. Yeah, a little bit. So you guys will come in the back where the chairs were moved? Yeah, come on in so that you can hear a little bit. Sorry, thank you.
Come forward. Okay, yeah, let me just speak.
Excuse me, no, just come forward so some could fit behind you guys, please. So then everybody could hear.
You want me to adjourn now? Okay. They wanna
Yeah,
bring
walk down, so get some more people come.
Can I get everyone's attention? By a show of hands, who here would like to speak? Okay. So how should we do this? So let's,
Wait 1 second and then you will be next.
okay, so we'll do this orderly. Whoever wants to speak, I guess we'll,
You didn't hear the beginning, if you was in the behind the door, maybe somebody short go over there again, maybe?
No, we're not gonna have the people who spoke already speak again. There'll be a transcript, the transcript, you can hear, you know, I apologize for the fact it's crowded, but we're gonna start with the people who's next to speak. Why don't you come up, sir?
But we don't do what the.
You can get the transcript online, sir. It's available, you can go to the NYC rules, you can watch the transcript, it's on. But there will also be a transcript you can come
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. My name is Mohammed Bashir. I'm the owner of Kazuza and Charisma Lounge. We met before. About the hookah lounge. Yeah, is that okay? Much better? Can you hear me?
Can you repeat your name more slowly?
My name is Mohammed Bashir, the owner of Charisma and Kazuza. Which one? This one? Can you hear me now? Yeah, okay. My name again? Okay, we know the long-term city to shut us down for a long time. So the law completely, it's about shut us down. It's just a matter of 5 to 10 years. About a lot of things in the law, it's very hard. My colleague before talked about the 50%, which is very typical to us because we have to force the people. You cannot eat too much, you cannot drink too much, you have to smoke too much. We try to cut down the smoke, the city that's supplying for the city, but now you sell the customer, you smoke a lot, drink less. There's a lot of things about the city doesn't understand. I spoke with my 2 sons, which is 21 years old and 25 years old. What do you guys do in the nighttime? When you go out, then what do you go? Hookah lounge. They don't want to go to bar, clubs, a lot of fights in the club. So in New York City now, which is, I live in Astoria, I'm contacted with Long Island, opium. So the kids are going to drugs right now. So
going to outside every night. Where do you gotta go? Is it 21, 25 years old? Where do you gotta go on the weekend? In the night time in the city. So they got the gangs, they take the cars, they go Long Island, just smoke opium. A lot of my kids' friends, some of them die already, 24, 25 years from the opium. So the city has to give us, our kids, time to breathe, to go somewhere in the nighttime. I mean, you guys lived in the city for a long time. Where do you go in the nighttime on the weekend? Nowhere. So the hookah lounge is part of, those kids can 5 10 of them come to have one hookah or two hookah, couple of drink and go. We don't allow fights, we don't allow it too crowded because the NYPD force us, and we know if we get violation, we're gonna be shut down from this NYPD. So we control our clientele. You can 311 call, 911 call. There's not that much. Clubs, a lot of fights. The gang, a lot of fights. And drugs, a lot of problems in New York City. So give our kids a room to breathe a little bit. Thank you.
Anyone else? Go ahead, sir.
Hi, my name is William Padilla. I am from Mama One Bronx.
Just to be clear, we're allowing 3 minutes for each person to speak. If it gets to 3 minutes, I'll let you know so you can wrap up.
Absolutely. So my question is, if you're setting a protocol where 50% of your sales have to be hookah in order for you to get a permit, so what you're really saying is you guys got to sell a lot of hookah to get a permit. So it's kind of contradictory to the fact that you're doing this based on health issues. If you're telling everyone here, your sales got to be 50%. So what are you saying? You got to sell more hookah, right? Now, is that all they're saying? You got to sell more hookah for you to get a permit. So if it's a health issue, then how would you set that as a protocol? It contradicts the fact that your basis for this new law is a health issue. Additionally, who is going to comply with that law? Who? I don't think anyone here can comply with that law. So you're tying everybody down. So you're shutting down not only hookah lounges, you're shutting down retail businesses that sell products. In the hundreds of thousands of businesses you're gonna shut down. You're gonna disemploy people. Again, most of these businesses are minority-owned businesses, so you're hurting the minority community. I don't have anything else to say, but again, my biggest contention is if you're forcing 50% of your sales to be hookah products, and what you're doing is you're sort of promoting hookah sales. You're sort of saying, you guys gotta smoke a lot. You guys gotta bring up your sales to 50%, which is contradictory to your health agenda.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Wait a minute.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Catherine Angeles. Together with my husband, we own Carro Cafe restaurant in Brooklyn.
Sorry, you have to just put the button to the right.
I know. Should I start over?
Okay.
Together with my husband, we own Carro Cafe restaurant in Brooklyn. I think, as a lot of people have said before, this issue we are discussing right here in the health department. But if you really are thinking in health, the matter of selling the 50%, it wouldn't be to have something to argue about. That will belong to Consumer Affairs or to the IRS or just something like that. But if you're interested in health, then together with Mr. Silverio, or as Ms. Bowen said, the most important thing, it should be some type of regulation on what type of tobacco we sell, I mean a non-tobacco molasses or stuff like that. Or it should be something, I mean, we're already trying to regulate, we ourselves, we don't sell hookah to anyone 21 and under. But as the guy in Enwood, we have both types of consumers, the ones that likes hookah and the ones that they don't. So my thing is like, you should like set up and schedule where people could go and have dinner or have drinks or whatever, and not having to have hookah involved, and another schedule where hookah could be allowed to everybody. Because like, for example, I'm a woman, and I'm a working person. I don't have too much time as everybody else in New York doesn't have either. When I go, I'm just putting an example. When I go to a hair salon, I want someone to do my hair, where they do my nails, and what they do whatever they have to do all at the same time. It happens the same thing in our business. We are a full-time restaurant, like we serve food till 4 in the morning. Alcohol, of course, as in the case of Miss Bowen, is our main thing. I mean, the sales goes up to that. And hookah, it's something that just add to it. Because every time youth or even old people right now goes out, they want to have everything in the same place. But they don't want you, if they're 21 and over, they're grown up enough to know if they could have it or not, if it's good for them or not. Regardless, they're gonna have hookah or tobacco or marijuana or whatever in their houses if they want to. So why do not offer them? We already offer healthy food. We're trying to offer low volume and alcohol thing. Why do not offer healthy hookah too? But offer them. Set up a schedule where the kids are not involved, because I'm trying to have a kids-friendly establishment where they could go with their family and everything. But I don't want, like, the other target that most of the people have, to stop going to my place too. Why
3 minutes
not
is
have
up, so
everything?
can we wrap up?
Thank you.
If you could just go in front of the mic, so we can hear you better, sir.
I have to hold it?
No, you don't have to hold it, but make sure it's red. Perfect.
Hi everyone. I have a my name is Ali Doğan. I have a restaurant, Alibaba, and I have a Babylon Hookah Lounge also. Now, if you stop the hookah, what kids they're gonna do? They're gonna go to New Jersey. They're gonna go more far because you have to check it, make sure not tobacco free. Health department, 8 years they come. I always get the A, and always they check the boxes, is tobacco free or not. They have to check this first. But if something like wrong going on, they can do some whatever you want. You can do it. But otherwise, if you're gonna stop it, how I'm gonna customers? They're not gonna come eat chicken wings to my place or food. They're gonna go eat the restaurant. They're not gonna come. I pay. Everyone pay here in Manhattan. We pay like $50,000 rent almost. So you have to make the business there. I have like 20, 30 people working. If you're gonna stop that, 30 people times, let's say 3 family, 90 people, they're gonna get no job. I mean, this, you have to do something else, not cancel the only hookah. You can go a different way. Thank you.
Anyone else? Sir?
I actually had a couple of questions about the law. Can I ask that, or does it have to be commented?
This is not an opportunity, this is not an interactive process, we're just taking comments on the rule, so if
All right.
you want to talk informally later, maybe, but this is an opportunity.
I'll talk, okay.
The public would like to come and talk and testify.
Okay, so unless there's someone else like to speak, we'll adjourn.
Come back, Mike.
Yes, come back at, what time, 3:50?
Can I just ask a question? I can't sit down and ask a question.
3:40, okay, we'll convene at 3:40.
We're not handling questions, we're taking testimony.
It's not an
If-
they don't wanna help us.
Everybody wanna come.
If you wanna make a statement?
Probably make them mind already, they're gonna do this anyway.
We need to be in business.
How you doing, guys? My name is Ahmed Gama. I'm speaking on behalf of just, I smoke hookah, as a hookah connoisseur. As somebody like enjoys fine cigars or fine cigarettes, whatever it is you're into. The hydro herbal and the alfalfa non-tobacco, all of that stuff, I feel is a setup to destroy the hookah business and because it's a complete difference. I understand if you take away the chemical of nicotine, it's harder to get people to come back to your place. But I'm like, since we're already in a position that we're using the hydro and the taste is terrible, it's like somebody asks for Coke and they give you Diet Coke. You're not gonna buy it, you're not gonna come back. So I just wanna say, I feel like the company should make it where the taste is exactly there and people are satisfied, and we won't have a problem with the health department. But because the flavors that we're forced to use now is destroying the businesses, and they know it. So I just feel like the big companies should just make it easier for us to make flavors that are exactly like the tobacco flavor without the nicotine. And then we have a solution, all of them. And that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we will adjourn to 3:40, unless somebody comes at 3:40 to speak, then we'll adjourn.
This time, there's no more time to speak? No.
You can if you want to.
Yeah, I thought, we didn't think there were, if there are still people, yes, correct. If there's still people who want to speak, you can speak.
Yeah, nobody answered.
Yes, they are.
They are. If anyone else wants to speak, they still can. We thought there was no one else who wished to speak.
Yeah, we're not,
So-
3/4 is a long time. Well, for business people. No.
Whoever wants to speak,
Whoever wants to
can
speak, if there are other people who want to speak,
So,
we can testify.
first I apologize, I might repeat myself, because I just got here a little late, so I might ask questions that were already answered, so my apologies for that. But just to make a quick note, we are very concerned on the way the license will be distributed in the way of some items on the application and on the requirements. If that's the case, I might.
I apologize for interrupting. I don't think you mentioned your name.
My name is Pedro Goico from Mama Juana Cafe.
Thank you.
So we are a little concerned on the jurisdiction that you guys have and who's going to be enforcing some of the regulations. For example, a 21-year-old in the venue, who's going to be policing that? You normally go twice a year to our venues, so are you going to go to every table next people that are 21 years old? What jurisdiction or what training do your department have on that? That's number one. You're also asking for financial statements. What jurisdiction and what training does your department have on finance? Because you guys are not part of the finance department. So we have some concerns on that. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. Besides that, this is a terrible law that could have had, or regulation really, that could have been worked out in a different way. So we ask for the health department to do everything in their power to make sure we minimize the loss of jobs and revenues of the state. But we're very concerned about the jurisdiction and the training that your team have to be able to go into the place and who's 21 or not. They're going to go table by table to ask people. Or that will be the police department. Who has that jurisdiction? That will be very confusing. And who has the jurisdiction to know what 50% is, or what is a financial statement? You guys are accountants? You know, that's some of the questions that we have, and we want some clarity on that. Thank you so much.
Anybody else would like to speak? Okay, so if nobody wants to speak now, we'll adjourn to 3:40. Or until somebody shows up would like to speak. Okay.
Because people are gonna be coming back in, so we kind of like shift down so we don't
We have two people who want to speak. Christine Saikali.
Okay, wait. We need to start.
Yeah, let's start.
Ready?
Yes.
microphone. Right?
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Christine Sakali. I'm here on behalf of Chill Bar and Hookah Lounge. My brother owns the lounge. I just have a few things to say about this new law that's being passed. We are all here, different countries, different races, different religions, but we're all here for the same exact thing, which is this new law that's being passed for hookah owners. We come to the United States, or if we're already citizens, knowing that we have the freedom and the right to do what we want. You're basically passing this law to tell us that we have to have 50% of our profit only in hookah. Meaning, if you have liquor, you have food, whatever it is, only 50% has to be in hookah. Like the people said before, I'm not gonna keep repeating the same thing, but you know, you're being hypocrites because basically you're saying we wanna do less hookah to people, or, you know, for health issues, but we want 50% in sales for hookah. Our establishment is already 21 and over. We have a bouncer at the door. He IDs everyone that comes in, so that's not an issue. I agree with that. Maybe it should be a higher age. Our hookahs are cleaned after every use. Anything that goes down gets cleaned. New hoses are being put out for every hookah. We have a ventilation system, so there's not a lot of smoke in the place. And you're being strict with the law, but not fair, honestly. You know, all these businesses that are here, they are here because not 50% of their sales are in hookah. There's other things that are sold at each establishment. You have liquor, you have food, you know, you have desserts, you have other things. So putting that on 50% only for hookah is a bit ridiculous, and I think that should be, you know, taken into consideration. Thank you.
Mr. Gino Single is next to speak.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gino, and I came from Taj Village, a cafe located in Middle Village, New York. All right, so I'm not here. I mean, like, what's the law? I mean, we know what's gonna happen is gonna happen, but I'm here, like, as we all from, you can see, like, probably we got, like, Spanish people here, African Americans, Indian, Arabics. I'm talking on behalf of all of them because this is New York is a multicultural city, and a lot of tourists. It's called the city never sleeps, New York City, and it's the most tourist city in the world. So everyone comes here from different countries, and this is kind of like, you know, it's different culture, everything. In New York, you will find every religion, different parts of the country. You're gonna find the people here. So my concern is this. First of all, the health department is saying, you know, most important thing, the hookah sales. I don't think whatever they're saying, it's right. I'll be honest to you guys, because one side you guys are saying, as everybody mentioned, all right, we want to decrease the hookah. I'll tell you honestly, I know people from last 30 years, my uncle, that's my age. On my first birthday, I saw a picture of him smoking hookah. He's still smoking hookah. He doesn't even eat one medicine. He's sitting right behind you, you can see. He has no health issues, and cigarettes, everybody knows is bad. Still, they've been in the market. Vape recently came out, and there's a research. Technically, everybody says, oh, smoking 1 hour hookah session is equal to so many cigarettes and whatever. But scientifically, nothing has been proved. So, I'm here, technically, it's nothing wrong, whatever we are doing, and I've been smoking hookah from last 15, 16 years. I have a family, I have a baby, I'm a happy married person. And I work, and this is my, like, you know, I work for this. So I wouldn't allow, because America is a free country, I can say whatever I feel like. And so I'll be honest, whatever is being doing is not right, especially a place like New York, where is a multicultural city. So please, whenever you make this law, whatever it's gonna happen, so please take care of all of us. We are part of this community. We are part of this country, and we are American, and we're proud to say we are American, and we love America. Simple. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pardon me?
Anybody else would like
Yes.
to
May I?
speak? Go ahead.
No, I just.
Let him go first, and then
Okay,
I'll
go
I'll follow
ahead.
him.
My name is Yusuf Sultan. We represent a few clients who serve like a hookah lounge. Who have hookahs in the lounges, and I know the law is what it is now. But my confusion was when the original piece of legislation came out. It was signed into law on October 16th, but the way I read it was it goes into effect 6 months after it was signed. So we had a handful of clients who signed leases just prior to the signing of the law, and it took them a few months to build their places and open up, and they're in the process of opening up right now. Some have opened, some are about to open, but now the way I read it today, it says if you were in existence as of October 17th. So that's gonna be a total confusion. I mean, these people have spent a lot of money. I never saw this date, October 17th, in the original legislation. I had an attorney. I'm not an attorney. I had an attorney look at it, and she told me that the law goes into effect on April 14th, 6 months after it was signed. And then if you're permitted on or before April 14th, you should be allowed to operate and be able to apply for a hookah permit. So do you guys have any clarity on that, or?
Honestly, this is an opportunity for you to testify.
Well, so-
and
so that was my original
about
question.
the rules, so that we
Right.
can consider your comments.
Okay.
And
So I
take them
think-
under
yeah.
consideration. This is not an opportunity,
Yeah, I think this is-
unfortunately, for us
For you to
to answer
answer.
questions.
I think that's gotta be under serious consideration, because now I see that the owner of establishment that has October 17, 2017, generated 50% or more, but we have a handful of people who actually were in the process of signing leases and have since built places to operate as hookah lounges. And I actually have been inspected and are operating, because you could still file you can still file a permit with the health department, and the application has hookah cafe on it. They never took that away off the application. It's still there. So now with this, it's very confusing. So hopefully, all right. Thank you.
Kevin, you guys are not allowed to answer any questions, so just take comments.
It's just testimony, right?
So there should be no question, just comments.
That's right.
Pretty.
Hello, my name is Ricardo Bonego. I represent Mama Sushi and Mama Juana and a bunch of other establishments uptown. And our concern more so than anything is how the regulations are going to be enforced. We understand the regulations passed, and it is what it is. And I speak for the restaurants we represent. We follow all the rules. We have multiple establishments open for many years, all with A ratings from the health department, and all without any liquor license violations. So, we're not opposed to following rules. We just want the rules to be fair. And if, like a few people before me mentioned, there can be a process put into place where we'd be more than happy to follow. Also, another consideration would be the issuing of licenses just the way a liquor license is issued and enforced. Like the young lady before said, the 21 and over, we strictly enforce it. Again, we have multiple establishments for a number of years with active liquor licenses with no violations for sales to minors. So we follow the rules, and we're happy following the rules and continuing to do so with any other regulations that are put in place. But I think the 50% number needs to be looked at. I think there should be other things put into place that will allow us to follow the regulations, such as the way the no smoking signs are put up, the way the liquor license cannot sell to a minor, cannot sell to someone that is pregnant, and things of that sort. So just something to take into consideration, that we're okay with following the rules. We just want the rules to be fair for all the establishments, whether it be restaurant, bar, or hookah cafe. I think everyone should have an opportunity to serve hookah. Likewise, If I don't want to do something myself personally, I won't put myself in the position to do that. So if someone does not want to be in an environment where there's hookah being sold, then don't walk into a hookah restaurant. There's plenty of other restaurants in the state, in the city or whatever. Just that, and then I guess just the regulation more so for it to be very clear. The accountant part of it, like Pedro mentioned, the 50% part like the young lady mentioned, and everything else we put into place.
Thank you. Anyone else? Sir,
I just
we
wanna
give
clarify.
each person one opportunity to speak, and unfortunately, you spoke
I was on
earlier
the 3
today.
minutes though.
Yeah, but I think we should be getting
I-
opportunities.
If I give you more than one chance, and I have to give everyone more than one
I'm the only one who wants to
chance.
say something.
You could tell Susan.
Yeah, but he can speak to some
He could-
parties.
I'm speaking on
It's a
behalf of
public hearing.
the-
We should be able to spread what we
I
want.
don't want to.
As
Does anyone have a problem that I say something? You mind?
A public hearing, we should be here.
I mean, we're here to speak, right? So I'm gonna speak my mind right now. Before first of all, my name is Elvis Severio. I spoke about this a little while ago. There's certain bullet points that we wrote down that I think you should consider. Number one, we do want to comply with the law, which you get the permit in order to have a hookah at your establishment. Number two, purchase non-tobacco hookahs. Number three, use disposable hoses. Number four, keep a sanitary log for inspectors. That's something that we all do automatically. Anyone at our venues, always 21 and over. The 50% rule that you guys want to apply, I think 15% is more reasonable for most of us, or maybe all of us. 50% is impossible for you to comply with the law, especially with the hike in liquor and other stuff. And also have your handler take a fire department course if you want to sell hookahs. These are the guidelines that we comply with. We want to stay in business. So if you guys are willing to tweak some of these things, we want to continue selling hookahs. So help us get to that step by minimizing and keeping the 50% into 50% and having regulation of non-tobacco and non-carbon monoxide coal. These are things that we want to work with. So instead of, and the signs, keep our signs all over. Right now, it says you can have electric cigarettes. We have that even in the bathroom I have it. I have it all over the place. We have 21 and over signs. We have, for non-tobacco smokers, they still come in and they have no issues. I haven't heard of anyone die because of hookah. Just last year, 16,000 people died in a car accident due to drunk drivers. How many people have died because of hookah? I haven't heard none. So until we do better studies, I think you guys should tweak the law and keep us in business and comply with some of our demands. Thank you.
Yes, please, thank you.
Sir, would you like to speak? Yeah. Sure.
I just got here, so I'm not really sure of whether this is brought up yet or not, but one thing that I noticed...
Can you state your name?
My name is Richard Kazami, and I am president of the Old Astoria Neighborhood Association. So, the question I have is, the 50%, at one point was based on the net, and then it was based on the gross. So at this point, where does it stand? And I think that it should be based, upon the net, not the gross. So, net profit. That makes a difference, significant difference. I think that the profit margins on the shisha are quite high, so that would allow a larger amount of shisha sales.
You buy a hookah,
Yeah. So that's the one point I wanted to bring up. Thank you.
Good point, young man, good point.
Can Christina, just real quick, maybe off the record, if I can say it, do you guys have any way, just so we would hear, because I don't want people to leave confused, and I think a lot of us will leave confused, do you guys have any power or any jurisdiction, as I see Kevin, you're part of the Tobacco Control Legal Council, a legal way to go back to City Council and say this rules is not enforceable, therefore you need to look at it again? Are you guys allowed to do that, or you need to enforce whatever's in paper already, even though it's not enforceable?
Unfortunately, sir, I cannot address that right now.
Who can address that for us?
Right now, this is not the right forum for us to be addressing those questions.
Would it be a forum for that?
Stated repeatedly today, the sole purpose of today's hearing is to obtain comments from those present who want to be heard on these proposed amendments.
Yeah, but I think the city.
Listen, can you tell us what the procedure just afterwards, like how does it work usually?
What is gonna happen with all this that we're talking about here today?
Does anyone here like to speak on these proposed amendments?
Yes, can I ask you a question?
Not a question, can I say something? Who's gonna deliver all these comments?
That's right.
That's what we wanted to answer. What are you
Who's
gonna
going to
do?
deliver all this comments?
We're going off the record. You can take it off the record.
Yeah, we drove like 1 hour to get here for what?
I'm not asking for a decision, we just wanna know what happens next.
So, as Christina has said multiple times, the
I mean, we're not
the
stupid.
purpose of this
We know that.
is to hear testimony. If anybody wants to hear testimony, our number one priority, our purpose of this meeting is to give them an opportunity to hear testimony.
All this testimony-
But separate from that, and I think that this was laid out in the notice of intent. And some of you know the history. A law was already passed by city council, it was signed by the mayor. We don't have the authority to change that law.
So,
If what you're talking about is a change to the law, that means engaging the legislative process.
that will take 2 years, but right.
So-
But how you
What
enforce
we're
some-
here to do is to talk about the rules. The law has been passed. The rules provide more details related to how the law will go into effect, and we can talk about the rules.
But what I'm saying is the agency, you as the legal counsel of the agency, know that rule at city council level, the legal counsel of city council made a mistake on some of the things that the health department and the committee of the health department at the city council level made mistakes on stuff that your agency will not be able to enforce because it doesn't make sense. Then I think it's your responsibility to go back to them and say, you want me to do stuff that I can't do because it just doesn't make sense. And I think the city deserves that to us, that we provide a lot of jobs, but you're gonna kill a lot of jobs, believe it. Astoria will be a lot of empty front ends, believe it or not, you should send them in. And I know that's not your case because that's for city council, but what I'm saying is, I'm sorry, Christina, because you have to let us talk, please. You have to let us talk because
Today, this forum is not the right forum to engage in this
but
conversation,
as a legal counsel, you need to do something in order to.
Does anyone here
Yes,
would
but I
like to
understand what you're saying,
speak
but,
on
you
the
know, I'm a
proposed
citizen, I pay
rules?
tax.
What-
I pay for this
If
building.
you haven't had the
So
opportunity
what was the
to
point of having
speak.
this meeting? This is a waste of time.
It's always a
Why'd you bring us to hear our comments? It's already
Thank you for wasting our time. Thank you. We will soon see on the website.
ridiculous. If it's already passed, what's the point of our comments?
Why's the comments?
We just
You can do
wasted our
nothing?
time talking.
Unless
It's already passed.
somebody
Can I just say something for the record? Something for the record? Can I just say something for the record? The 50% rule, in the consensus of everyone here is unattainable. The 50% rule is unattainable, just for the record, and that's the consensus of everybody.
Unless there is somebody here who would like to speak,
No,
we will adjourn until 3:40 or until somebody appears who wants to speak.
Yeah, but we thought we was gonna get something, it's like we're going the same way, because you're not gonna be able to answer, and this message is not gonna be delivered to the right person.
Pardon me? Cuba?
Kevin.
Thank you very much, guys.
Okay, Wayne Littleton. Let's say I just decide that I want to do a hookah business. How would I prove 50% of new establishment? You know, that's a question I have. And next thing is about what's the cost of the permit. Is it going to be ridiculous like a liquor license? Okay, I think that's it right now. All right.
Maybe say one more thing, who's gonna provide us with that? You guys, the health department?
You're more than welcome to, yes, ask your question.
Joseph Sakali. Just wanna know who's gonna provide us with the permits for the hookah, is it the health department? We don't know who's responsible for that, like, do we buy from you guys, from, that's what I want.
Anybody else would like to speak?
You guys are killing the nightlife.
Killing the nightlife and killing the people. Alright, my name is Mohammed Elda. I'm actually an accountant, so
I actually deal with a lot of hookahs, hookah lounges. So if you're looking for 50%, anybody that sells liquor, no way in hell can they even sell hookah. If you're looking for 10%, it's doable, but more than that, it's not doable. If you just want to ban it, just to ban it, it's like prohibition. You stop liquor, now you want to stop hookah. You're gonna have a lot of people mad. Hookah, nowadays, that's what all the young people want to do. I smoke hookah, I don't own a lounge. That's what I want to do, I want to go to hookah club. If the person don't smoke that's with me, they know where I'm going. I don't stop them from coming in. I'm not stopping them from dying either. They're secondhand smoke, same thing, but they know what they're getting involved in. You're taught cigarettes as a kid, it's not good to smoke secondhand, anybody next to secondhand cigarettes. So the person that's coming in with me already is educated that, oh, I'm going into a hookah lounge. Let it be, let the people live, and that's it. If we want to smoke hookah, we smoke hookah. We want to drink, we want to drink. Alcohol kills more people than hookah does. That's all I have to say.
Fight wars at 18, but we can't smoke hookah.
Anybody else here would like to speak? Okay, then we'll adjourn to 3:50, 3:45, 3:50, unless somebody shows up before then to be heard.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys?
Yeah, alright. How are you? My name is Mark Rodriguez, and I don't own a club or anything, but I have a question of people who independently own hookah like businesses. Like I have a couple friends that run it at clubs. So how does that work in terms of like the 50% if you're not selling liquor, just hookah? So are you gonna like charge us 50% of our gross income, or how does that work? It's a good question. And in terms of getting the permit, all the legal aspects of that would like to be answered. Thank you. Pretty much hookah's the culture now, so it's gonna be hard to be stopped. It could be like be healthier, but it's pretty much not gonna be stopped. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
How are you doing? My name is Ali. I own 718 Hookah Lounge, Forest Hills. I mean, I owned the bar for 6 years, and I feel like you guys are chasing the hookah, where this is the only thing bringing people out and together, to be honest with you. Any bar, because I can have a pop bar next to me and I have a restaurant next to me. They all, after 11:30, 12 o'clock, slow. They crying, they have no business. I have customers, my tables is full, I'm happy. Why? Because hookah bringing people out, everybody come out to smoke hookah. Everybody gonna stay home when you guys, if nobody's selling hookah, nobody's coming out. Nobody's selling liquor, nobody wants to go out to drink, and you can't say 50% because the hookah heads take an hour to burn. For it to take an hour to 45 minutes, you have 4 drinks. It's causing a lot of problem. Me personally, I have no problem with that, to be honest with you. My thing is this, you stop me from selling hookah, or I have 6 girls, they all go to college. I've been on the bar for 6 years. I seen my workers, the girls came from behind the bar, doing the floor, graduated, nurses, they making money, they pay tuition from my hookah lounge. Why? And my name is 718 Hookah Lounge. I don't sell food. To be honest with you, I don't even make $500 a week. $500 a week on selling food, let alone you stopping my hookah. I just put in 200 and something thousand into my place. I got a 10-year lease. I'm 30 years old. I don't sell hookah. My landlord wants his rent. And what happened now? I gotta give in the paperwork and now go do this. You guys, I don't think you guys should come up with something better. You know, something like where you guys could work with us. I'm 21 years old. You have a kid that's 21 years old. He knows if he's gonna go to a hookah lounge or not. He knows if he's gonna smoke. He knows what's good for him or not. Jersey, they smoking weed. You guys worry about the hookah now? California, everywhere, just New York City, it's a busy area. They let them do whatever they want. Give them a hookah license. You want to go, there's a hookah lounge. It's good, bad, write a big sign. Do not smoke hookah. Hookah is bad for you. You want to come in, that's on you. You're 21 years old, my man. Other people married with kids are 21. You know, you guys got to come up with something. These people are here. How many people you seen here? They all got girls and they go to school, kids that are making a living, they paying a house rent. People right now crying from having no job. Every hookah lounge, I know they have 10 employees. What are you gonna do with those 10 employees? You know, they won't be sleeping on the street. Baby mom, I have a baby father, I'm on child support, I'm on this, I'm on that. You guys listen, I love them, my city. I'm an immigrant, I came here in 2000, I'm from Syria. You guys should, everybody know, but look, my thing is this, you guys cannot fight these kids. These young kids know what's going on. They wanna smoke, they wanna do that. Just come up with a better plan. Well, you're not gonna shut all these business down. You're giving these people 3 minutes, people put $500,000 into these businesses. Give them 3 minutes to speak. about something that I'm known for my hookah. I'm very, very known for my hookah. You telling me, oh, you're not doing 50%, so what I'm gonna sell? Dry beer? I'm not a bar. And that's what I gotta say. I think you guys should come up with a better plan. Thank you.
The minimum is 10%. You kill all these hookah lounges.
Yeah, no, this is our city. You guys gotta keep the city alive. People smoking weed in Jersey, California, here, there. We chasing a hookah. You wanna smoke hookah? Good, come in. You don't? Go next door. There's a million bars out there. K2, they selling K2 on Broadway. They're walking like zombies. You guys chasing this? Nobody got cancer. I'm serious. My grandma's 90 years old. I'll send you a picture right now. All of us. I'll FaceTime and she's smoking a hookah with no problem.
So anyone wants to speak here?
We'll wait until 15-20 minutes. Hmm?
Yours was the best argument so far.
Huh?
Yours was the best argument so
cookie?
far.
I don't want to speak for all these people, but it's the truth.
I'm so stronger than a
It is
cookie.
the truth.
A cake. I want a whole cake.
You adjournment?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna adjourn to,
Adjourn to 3:50.
Okay.
Looks like no one here wants to speak who didn't speak earlier today? Nope, okay, so I think we can adjourn. It's, what time is it? 3:53, this hearing is adjourned, or it's concluded.